Now, the 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Brought to you by TireOutlet.com. Wholesale prices, premium service.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
All right, welcome back. Time for some sports concepts and rationalizations.
Would you like to rock?
On the drill. And at the end of this segment, we will hand out, yes, you know what, you love it, a prize pack that includes what, Beef?
You're darn tootin', Dan. At the end of the segment, stay tuned. You'll get your chance at a pair of tickets to see Thomas Rhett live at the arena October 4th. And you'll also make it a night with dinner for two from Chick-fil-A.
Wow. I like that. I like that a lot. All right, Jeff Prosser. Right now, right here, let's start off with this. We watched Clemson dismantle a very good Alabama team last night. I saw enough to know how good Clemson is with Trevor Lawrence. They got 8 back on offense, 8 back on defense, so they're a lock. Is Alabama going to make it back too? Is it going to be Clemson, Alabama for the tiebreaker now that they're 2-2 in the national championship game next season?
Well, they'll have a tougher road, right? I mean, it's tougher to get through LSU and Auburn and improving Texas A&M with Jimbo Fisher and then an SEC championship game. It's just the state of each conference. Look, the way Clemson played last night, it doesn't matter which conference they're playing in. They would have had the same record. So I think we got fooled a little bit by equating some of Clemson's dominance with a weaker ACC this year, and those two things are separate. Clemson has dominance, and the ACC was weaker. So that being said, you know, Alabama's got 8 back on offense and 9 on defense as well. These two teams have proven to rise to the top 4 years in a row. They got the same coaches. They have now experienced award-winning quarterbacks. I expect that Tua and Trevor Lawrence will be neck and neck for next year's Heisman from the preseason till the end. I give Clemson more of an advantage for a couple of reasons, and one is their quarterback is ascending, and Tua, the shine is off of Tua a little bit, right? I mean, from Jalen Hurts saving the SEC title game to losing the Heisman Trophy to being really outplayed last night. So I would give Clemson a better shot of returning than Alabama. But, yeah, if you ask me right now, I mean, who would you say right now?
Yeah, you'd say those two. But as a follow-up to that and question number 2, and I'll ask it again, what team would you give the best chance of crashing the party?
Oh, I thought you were asking which of those two teams. Okay.
Because I'm going to tell you something. While everybody got Alabama and Clemson right this year, don't sit there and pat yourselves on the back. Because if you go look at the preseason top 20, it was a disaster besides that. In other words, there was a lot of jockeying.
Well, that's how the college football played this year, in fairness.
Right, and generally that's how it goes. But, so, anyway.
I would say Georgia. They're the one that's knocking on the door, Dan. They're the program that is nearly that won the SEC last year and gosh, lost the championship game in overtime, and they're the team that they're the team that this year almost beat Alabama in the SEC championship game. Georgia is got to replace a little bit more than those two teams, though. So Ohio State I expect to take a step back without Urban Meyer.
Ohio State,
I don't trust Notre Dame.
A lot hinges on Ohio State of whether or not they're going to have Justin Fields to play for them, or if he's going to have to sit out a year.
Yeah, I would say this. I would, if it's not going to be one of those two teams, I would point to an SEC team that can dethrone Alabama, whether that's LSU or Georgia or outside shot Florida or Texas A&M. I would say it would be from like that group of teams.
Right.
One thing became crystal clear this year, Dan, and if you give Dabo Swinney credit for last night, you really have to go back and give him credit at the end of September, because that's when, while he had an experienced quarterback, he turned the keys to the kingdom to a true freshman who had never made a start, and he did it with January in mind. That can be a dangerous mindset to have, but he played it to perfection, huh?
Yeah, it almost never works, and it could have caused a lot of disharmony on the football team. And the guy, as a leader, you got to give him all kinds of credit, because Kelly Bryant did nothing to lose his job, but the other kid was clearly better. And so when asked about it last night, Dabo said he owed it to his team to put the best guy out there. But clearly he knew that Kelly Bryant didn't throw it good enough to beat Alabama, but Trevor Lawrence would. And I don't think Trevor Lawrence in September did, but as the season wore on and the true freshman got better, he clearly has shown the ability to make all the throws.
Especially the downfield throws. I think I saw a stat. Clemson didn't have a 15-yard completion against Alabama with Kelly Bryant in last year's semis.
Yeah.
And now this year, they lit them up from the first, really from the get-go, from the first possession. So.
But the amazing thing for, Clemson, and I'll give him credit as a coach for this, is the ability to take kids who really didn't do a whole lot and build them through the year. These freshmen, like the Ross kid. I mean, he's a stud. All we heard about most of the year was the T. Higgins kid, and all of a sudden Justin Ross, who's from Alabama, by the way, the number one receiver in the state, and ended up with 46 catches this year for 1,000 yards and 9 touchdowns.
Last night's a big win for recruitniks too.
Yes.
If anyone that poo-poos recruiting, look at the top. Look, you got a bunch of 5 stars and top recruits that are making big plays last night.
Oh yeah. Now it's look, these things are cyclical, and while it looks great for Clemson now, it can change in a year or two, just like that. You never know. I mean, a few years ago, FSU was on top of the college football world. Man, they went like 32-2 or something, and had 23 kids drafted over a 3-year period, and look what's happened to them.
It's coach and quarterback.
Yeah.
That's whether it's NFL or college. If you've got top 10% guys in those 2 positions, you're going to win. Just about every year.
Just so you understand. Here's Dabo. You're talking about his coaching greatness. He's had three sort of cycles now at Clemson. All right, he took over and he was okay coach. 4-3, 9-5, 6-7. Very easily could have got canned. They didn't.
And they were talking about it.
Right. The AD deserves a ton of credit. Went and put his arm around him and said, "You're my guy. Don't worry about anything." So then he came back in the next cycle, which was a 4-year cycle. He went 10-4, 11-2, 11-2, and 10-3. And you're like, "Oh, that's pretty good,"
But still Clemsoning.
Okay. And then in the last cycle, the last 4 years, 14-1, 14-1, 12-2, 15-0. Bang.
Yeah, the last cycle's pretty good.
Yeah. So anyway, pretty impressive stuff. So listen, and it's overreaction Tuesday in the college football world, and that's what we do. But what does this loss mean for Alabama?
Nothing.
No,
I mean, it's a missed opportunity to add to their trophy case.
Yeah.
I mean, you see, they're number 1 in recruiting right now, as always. They're stocked full of tantalizing talent. The Tua, regardless of maybe some sort of wart showing up these last few weeks, still is going to be one of the top 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the entire country. I think that out of respect to the older classmen, their best running back is Najee Harris, and he's not played enough. He'll become the workhorse guy next year.
It's amazing last night how Alabama could just they move the ball between the 20s. But they went inside the red zone 3 times and lost it on downs 3 times.
Yeah.
And that fake field goal was I don't know what the hell they were thinking on that.
I saw the assistant who called it pleading his case.
Yes.
But you could tell Dick Saban was like, really?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So,
like if he had run to, and that was Mac Jones, by the way, the former Bulls kid.
Sure.
If Mac had run, and it wasn't his fault, there was a lane there, but he's not. It was going to close. If he not going up the middle for 7 yards, if he had run towards the line of scrimmage and did like a jump pass or something,
I'm not a big fan of like 4th and 6 fake
no,
kicks. Just run your offense.
Yeah.
Right. That's all. Let them know you have a better chance.
There was no deception. I mean,
they knew it was coming.
If the announcers are sitting there going, "Wow, you might," because the kicker is terrible.
It's terrible. Yeah.
And So anyway.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So nothing on Alabama. They're fine.
Don't you think?
Yes.
I mean, are you seriously? Are you worried? I'm not worried. No.
And by the way, we may take a little bit of shine off of Tua, but don't kid yourself, man.
Correct.
The kid is unbelievable.
Absolutely. I don't mean to represent other than that.
I mean, he changed.
But I just mean he seemed unbeatable a month ago.
Yes.
And now he doesn't.
But he changed Alabama football.
For sure.
That's what I like about him.
And they've got a great stable of receivers. It's like you said, they were fine from 20 to 20, and they just say, red zone, turnovers, those things matter. And Clemson won all those battles. They won the red zone battle, and they won the turnover battle.
Yep.
And they conquered. And how?
Say the big winner from last night, he won't go anywhere, is that dadgum Brent Venables.
Yeah, it's strange. He's never really wanted to be a head coach, huh?
Did
he make $2 million now or something?
He makes $2 million, and I think he has.
Got to wait for the right job, right?
No, I think he has kids coming through.
Okay.
And so I just think he's
it's funny. He's become
enjoys
star.
Where he's at.
He's become a star at Clemson. I can remember him being kind of the weak link at Oklahoma. It seemed.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, but anyway, he's been fortunate to be on 2 great programs that have had the chance to play for it all a bunch as top assistant. we know the NFL's a copycat league, but are we getting ridiculous when we hire a guy just because he's 39 and has worked with other talented offensive play callers and coaches?
Hold on. Venables said, because they were asking him about Texas Tech in November, and he said, just so people understand where I'm at right now, my son Jake is here. He's a freshman linebacker. He's chasing a dream. I sold that dream to him. My responsibility as a dad is to support him for as long as he wants to chase his dreams. Who am I to be a hypocrite regardless of what opportunities are out there? That's how I look at it.
They'll stay there. They'll stay there. All right, now on to an NFL coaching theme. And is it dangerous to count too much on the date of birth and who you've worked with? Because I watched the Titans this year. I thought their offense sucked.
Didn't we all scratch our heads over that hiring when we heard it yesterday? No, and we're talking about the Green Bay Packers have chosen Matt LaFleur, the Tennessee Titans OC, because he looks like Sean McVay. I don't know.
Well, listen, when he worked with McVay with the Rams and with Kyle Shanahan with the Falcons, but that's it's always been so risky to me when you take an assistant and you just apply his boss's resume to them.
Well, Tennessee
it doesn't work that way.
Tennessee tried to do some of that. It didn't work. Finally, Vrabel said, "Look, let's just give the ball to Henry," and that worked. What was best for them. I am not it's funny because I was talking to a couple Packer fans last night. I happened to work down there at CBS 47,
They're excited.
530. No, but they wanted him over New England's guy.
Why?
Wow, over McDaniels?
Yeah, and I didn't get that.
I don't get that either.
I didn't get that. So I would much rather have McDaniels. McDaniels has a history of working with, Tom Brady, which, there is like Aaron Rodgers. It seemed like the perfect match to me, but I'm not excited whatsoever about, if you're a Packer fan, I don't think you are either, about the hiring of Matt LaFleur after you watch Tennessee throw the ball for 80 yards a game.
Dan, his last name is French for the flower.
Oh.
Doesn't it feel like Matt LaFleur played at LSU, even though he's like Saginaw State or somewhere? It
Yes.
feels like he played for
Former tight
LSU.
end. Anyway, that's what's not trending. That's the 10-minute drill.
It is.
I don't know where
It
I
also
am.
trends. It will be trending now.
Sure.
All right, what's today's poll question, and how is that stacking up? We'll update you on that when we return.
All right.
It's a Catlin Truck Accessories Tuesday. Tony Baselli coming up in an hour as we talk about this weekend's playoff matchups. Find out where the big fella will be parking at what buffet he'll be parked at an NFL venue this weekend.
And we'll take caller number 5 right now. Caller number 5 for those tickets and that yummy food. It's all next right here on The Drill.
That's right. Caller number 5, 641-1010. Going to get a pair of tickets to see Thomas Rhett coming up October 4th at the arena. Those tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. through Ticketmaster. And you'll also get a dinner for 2 from our friends at Chick-fil-A.